Now, the news. Palmetto State Armory is offering a gun with one of the silliest names that I've ever heard. It's called the H&R 636 Clandestine Laboratory Eradication Team, or CLET for short.
I am the
CLET.
commander.
It's part of their H&R lineup of clone guns. It's intended to look like a gun originally made for the DEA. This is a 9mm with a 12.5-inch barrel and a specially modified A2 style handguard with a little end cap that would represent an integrally suppressed gun. But unfortunately, this is not an NFA item and therefore not suppressed. I am hoping that they eventually release a suppressed version, because that would be a dope little rig there, a little 9mm integral thing. Otherwise, it's got the carry handle upper, the H&R brace out back, and it uses Colt pattern magazine. Honestly, I think it's pretty neat. And we actually reviewed a gun that could kind of be considered a modernized version of this from Griffin Armament a while back, but this clone is a bit more affordable than that Griffin gun. The MSRP on the CLET is $1150. I'd love to know how many of you guys are into clone guns these days. I've seen a big rise in that segment of enthusiasts since I got into guns. So I'm wondering how many of you guys are actually into that, because I know Ben and Josh, the guys that are in our reviews, they both really enjoy that. So maybe some of you guys do too. Welcome back to another episode of the Gun Collective News. I'm John Patton. Our race to 500,000 subscribers on YouTube continues. Yes, it does. About half of you guys out there that watch regularly are not subscribed. You're not actually subscribed. So if you are one of those people, help a brother out. Get subscribed to the channel. It's not going to cost you anything, and it's a big help for me. Also, stay tuned, because we have an absolutely smoking deal of the week for you later in the episode. We have even more new guns to cover, so let's get to that. Ruger is back in the news with one that a commenter named Barricade actually pointed out to me last week. I didn't know this existed. This is yet another version of the American Gen 2 rifles called the Scout. And if it looks kind of familiar, that's with good reason. This is essentially an up-to-date, modernized version of the old Gunsight Scout, which they still actually sell. It has an AR-style front sight, a windage-adjustable rear, and a big old pick rail on the top, Scout style. The only thing missing is a cheek riser to be dialed in for whatever optic you put on top. And of course, there's a Cryptec camo stock and bronze Cerakote on the barreled action, blah, blah, blah. It looks nice. And right now, this is only available in a 16-inch 308 because Ruger doesn't love you enough to chamber it in something cool like 8.6 Blackout or 375 Raptor. MSRP on this one is not listed because it's a distributor exclusive, so I'm going to let you guys make it up in the comments. That should be really fun. I have no idea what you guys are going to say about that. In other new gun news, Rost Martin has released a new small one called the RM1S Comp. This is their smaller frame gun that holds 12 rounds in the flush mag and 15 rounds in the stendo mag. The barrel is 3.6 inches with a comp cut into the nose. And as we said in the review of the non-comped RM1S, the grip texture is nice, and I think this could be a good option. These also come with an RMR optic plate in the box, which I like. If I'm not mistaken, we actually have one of these very specific models coming to us for review, so stay tuned for that. It's going to fit nicely into the budget side of things because this gun has an MSRP of $489. Auto Ordnance is in the news with another new special edition. This one is dedicated to the 80th anniversary of the Battle of Iwo Jima. It has an 18-inch barrel chambered in .30 carbine, one 15-round mag. Why one mag? I don't get it. It's not that hard. Put another mag in the box. A walnut stock that has been draped in the names of many of the fallen servicemen from that battle, along with the phrase, "honoring the fallen" on the side. And now I've crapped on Auto Ordnance before for weak special editions. And I think this one is actually nicely done. I don't think this is crap. MSRP is not listed, but will likely land around like maybe $1,800, $2,000. That's where I think it's gonna go. Benelli is in the news this week for the first time in a long time with their new M4 EXT or M4X. Now, if you weren't aware before, M4s had to come into the country with limited capacity to fit into the 922R compliance, the sporting stuff. And even though we agree, everybody agrees that's lame, Benelli has finally figured out a good solution to get them to the market with a 7+1 capacity and the adjustable stock. And it'll come in 3 colors: titanium, flat dark dookie, and multicam black. All of them have an MSRP of, get ready for this, $2,600. Which is crazy for a tactical shotgun. That's way too much. But the M4 is very good, so maybe you rich guys out there can acquire them and let us all know how they are. Just for the record, this gun has been in the US for over 25 years now, and they're just now getting around to making this happen. Wow. Speedy. SIG is in the news, and they've got a new rifle called the 516 G3. This is a continuation of the 516 series, and they come with a 16-inch cold hammer forged barrel chambered in 5.56 with a 1-in-7 twist. They also have an adjustable gas piston system, folding, non-reciprocating side charging handle. It's also got the rear one. It looks nice enough overall. It looks pretty nice. I'm sure it's a good shooter. But with an MSRP at $2,100, is it going to be good enough to tackle all of the other ARs on the market? And on top of that, is it better than the more expensive MCX? I don't get it. Maybe this is a mid-tier version. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. Moving on. Daniel Defense did something that most gun companies won't even try to do. This is serious. They dropped the MSRP on the H9 pistol by $400. It's nearly unheard of for brands to reduce their MSRP at all, let alone by 23%. They say that this is the result of improved manufacturing processes and gave no other explanation. I gotta give them a slow clap. Like, good on you. Even though it's not the cheapest out there at its current $999 MSRP, this changes the value proposition as a whole. You can go watch our review for more info on the gun itself and what it's really all about. You know who else is focused on providing lots of value? This week's sponsor, XS Sights. I've been wanting to work with a company like XS for a long time. They offer sighting solutions for all kinds of brands out there, and a bunch of them are meant to be fast while keeping you accurate. For example, I got these 3-dot sights on the Desert Eagle, the Co-Witness style on the Masada Slim, and another more different set on this VP9 build. And since you watch TGC, they set you guys up with a big discount. If you use our code TGC at XS Sights, you'll save 20%. That's massive. Thanks as always to XS for supporting TGC. We really do appreciate them. They're great. Genuinely, they're so good to work with, and they make really nice sights. Let's keep it rolling with this week's Friendly Fire question. If you want to ask me a question, put it down in the comments. Type the words Friendly Fire in there, and then I can go back and find it, and then this cycle perpetuates. I'm going to go fast through these this week. First is from Jads, and he says, what kind of cars are you into? I was wearing a Donut Media shirt the other week. Generally speaking, I like anything that can go fast around corners and has all-wheel drive. I live in the Northeast. That's great. Beyond that, anything with forced induction is fun. I used to own a WRX STI. It was a lot of fun. I had it set up for autocross. LJ Hunter says, what caliber and can is the TC Encore over your shoulder? This is a custom rifle done for me by my friends at House of Arms, H-A-U-S of Arms. It's chambered in 500 Magnum. It has a trigger job. It's got this custom hydro dip on the stock and forend, and the can up here is a Bowers Verse 50. It's fantastic. I love this thing. John Cole says, are you hiring? No. Trust me when I say this, the shooting and this fun stuff that you see on the internet is the smallest part of my job. And Jeff Carr says, what is the company that makes the gun wall behind you? The panels and all the hooks and all that kind of stuff are made by Lockdown. There is a link in the description for that. We, I believe, have one of the best deals on the internet. When you click that link, it's like 20% off if you go there. This wall system is incredible. It's one of the best I've ever seen. We had a video on it. Go watch that. My friendly fire question to you guys this week. Has the NRA done enough to regain your trust yet? We had them out at GunCon. You guys said you wanted to see them there. And I've seen a lot of talk from friends of theirs saying the NRA 2.0 is coming, and I don't know if I trust that yet. I want to know what you guys are thinking about the NRA right now. Sound off in the comments and let us know. Now, we have a ton of accessories to get to this week, so I'm going to spool it up. It's rapid fire time. MDT has the new 3rd gen version of the SkyPod. They've made the knobs larger. The legs now lock at the top to prevent accidental discharge. The grip is now machined into the legs instead of like grip tape on the outside. They're slimmer and the whole thing is more rigid overall. That sounds great. These things come in 3 different lengths and prices range from $600 up to $1,000. These are not cheap. We have one of the older versions that we use on all of our precision rifles and it's fantastic. I love it. So hopefully this new one is even better. Speaking of Gen 3s, Vortex has a new Razor HD scope. It's a 4-24 by 44 first focal plane, and they say this is a more compact setup for DMR rifles and the same quality and yada, yada, yada. So Razor HD, it's going to be good. That's neat. It should be for the MSRP of $4,200. Good God! That's a lot of money. Mantis released the new Titan X training pistols. This is one of the coolest dry fire tools that I've ever seen. It has a bunch of data collection because it's made by Mantis and that's what they do. It has a cut for an optic on the top of the slide. It has a laser out the front to show you where your hits are and a realistic trigger press. At least that's what the paid influencers have told us so far. The price is where this thing shines. It's $200 MSRP. Comparing that to the closest thing that I could find, the Next Level Training CERT 115S pistol at $379 MSRP on the cheap end, you compare those two and you start to see how this is probably just a better call overall. Of course, as long as it is as good as they say it is. Antimatter Industries has a new generation 2 of their scope switch, which is a scope mount that allows you to control zoom with your support hand. It's like video game stuff in real life. It's super cool. The biggest issue with the first one was the pricing, and this new one, the Gen 2, has an MSRP of $379, which is down from the original $599 on the Gen 1. I've never had the chance to play with one of these in person. I've never played with it, but I love the concept, so I'm excited about this. And I promised you guys an absolutely smoking deal of the week. I don't actually smoke, so can you smoke a deal? Is that a thing? Anyway, Optics Planet has an awesome one for you this week. We are looking at the new 3MOA Vortex Venom enclosed optic, and if you use my code TGCVTX, it knocks off like 45%. It's staggering. To my knowledge, that is going to be the best deal on the internet for these things, and they're relatively new. And on top of that, I think this is going to be better than their actual Black Friday deal for these, so because you're watching TGC VTX, I'm telling you, go do it. The code TGCBF will also knock some stuff off elsewhere over there at Optics Planet, but the one to use is the first one, I'm telling you. This is a limited time thing, so don't miss out. Oh, and don't forget,